This video came across my desk yesterday. This hip hop is red pilled video. I'm sorry that I froze. I froze the creator's face right there. That's not a great face to freeze on. Um, so we've reacted to Lil Bill's video recently. We reacted to FD Signifier's vid recently, and I feel like this video from this creator, who is called, let me just make sure, because this is my first time seeing their content. Look at the material with BK. Um, I feel like this sits in discourse with those videos. Um, and hip hop is red pilled. So just having seen some of it already, I will tell you that I'm very much in alignment with the spirit of it. I think it does the thing that I've been trying to get us to not do, where we talk about hip hop culture like it's monolithic. Um, so I have some issues with that. And I think I'm coming from a place where I've been deeply embedded in hip hop for so long with some of the same spirit. It reminds me of how angry I used to get about things. Um, but I see the problem differently now than I did back then. But this is Hip Hop is Red Pill by Look at the Material with BK. And here we go.
Y'all gotta stand for something. I'm not saying you have to be bumping Yasin Bey and No Name all day. I'm not trying to be puritanical with this shit, but a line has to be drawn, y'all. Look, I can't even lie to you, family. I'm pissed. I'm mad. And I feel like I shouldn't even really be recording this video right now because my tongue is so sharp. But then I thought for a second, like, no, this is probably the energy I need to harness for a video like this. A couple weeks ago, I put up a poll. Make sure y'all are engaging with that, especially if you want to let me know like what topics to do and just so we can chat and stuff like that. But I asked y'all what should my next topic be, and I gave you 4 options. And the top 2 were which women, both mainstream and underground, should we be keeping an eye on in the rap game, and how hip hop has aligned itself with the alt-right agenda. Now, I'm still gonna do the video on which mainstream and underground girls to keep an eye on because these women have been killing it lately, but it has become abundantly clear that we have to talk about how hip hop is red pilled. That is an emergency in my view, because we know that there's always been, capitalism, misogyny, all these isms as we spoke.
In the chat, if you have thoughts about that premise as it stands, I'd love to hear that too. Do you believe that hip hop is in alignment with right wing movements? Just as a general stance, I'd love to know what y'all think of that as she lays out her position.
About before within the game, but in 2025, under an authoritarian regime, we have to become more aware about how the alt-right is embedded itself in our genre. Right now, we cannot afford to be like, it's not that deep and you're being woke or whatever else. Like, we cannot allow this topic to go unaddressed. And so that's what we're here for today, because my ears perked up when I saw YoungBoy was dropping an album called Make America Slime Again on the play Make America Great Again. We all know who that's associated with. He had the American flag iconography on the cover art. I wasn't really feeling that. And mind you, I was listening to a couple of the singles off the album before I heard the album in full, before I saw that ass video.
Oh boy. So this is, I guess, an NBA YoungBoy video with All Hail Trump. I mean, this is out of context, but so I guess for me, just off top, I'm not looking for YoungBoy to make anything that's in alignment with my values. So that's already where there's a disconnect for me. If YoungBoy is the example of, I can't hold up YoungBoy as an example of somebody taking this in the wrong direction, or making stuff that doesn't align with my political values, because he never has. Really any of his content or his music that I've heard. So already there's a little bit of a disconnect for me.
And you know what I'm talking about if you've seen that video. I said, we have to talk about this intergenerational obedience to the alt-right that we're seeing in front of our eyes right now. And it's also a betrayal of some of the key roots of hip hop. And that is really what we have to talk about. Because on this page, I've spoken ad nauseum.
Okay, and I guess to even drive the point home further, that's what I mean, is like, when has Youngboy, and I'm only using him as an example because that's who she's brought up, when has he ever been in alignment with those key roots of hip hop in any way? So I don't think it's surprising that he would be doing stuff that's not in alignment with that key root of hip hop, because that's never seemed to be what his career or content has ever been informed by.
About how some of our most prominent figures in hip hop are aligning themselves with Republicans, which the modern day Republican is MAGA, is alt-right. Like, he has taken over the party and formed it within his image. Black bagging people, kidnapping people off the streets. It's serious. You see what's happening in DC right now. But not only have I talked about how dangerous this alignment is and how sneaky this alignment is, I think I need to really double down on the fact that I feel like this bullshit is anti-hip hop. And when we talk about what we want the next 5, 10, 15 years of hip hop to look like, if we're even still on this fucking earth, we have to, at a certain point, get back to our roots. As Pusha T...
What do we want the next 10 or 15 years to look like in hip hop? Like, that's a great question. My familiar refrain is, I'm not even sure how much we can do about that. Like, let me tell you the world I'd like to see. I'd like to see a world where hip hop consumers in mass were more knowledgeable about the options presented realistically, so where they're not looking for music that aligns with their values from people who have no reason to do that. But again, this gets at what I always bring up about a lot of what people talk about when they talk about hip hop artists is just like the menu of corporate options, and they talk about that menu of corporate options like it's all that exists. I think there's a lot out there that probably would be more in alignment with leftist values, but they're not coming through the same pipelines, and they're not gonna be coming through the same pipelines. So like, the world I'd like to see in 10 to 15 years is where the consumer is more knowledgeable of the options, and so then we're not necessarily sounding an alarm every time somebody who you already don't fuck with does something weird, right? That's what I'd like to see.
And the clip said on their press run, when they were talking about how their album got shelved due to industry politics and Aubrey's fuckery, that hip hop is one of the last mechanisms for us to communicate thoughts to one another about our situation, about our mental state, about our political situation in this world. And it cannot continue to be bastardized because we are too pussy to call shit out, to say that's not cool, actually that's fucked up, actually that could get you kicked out of hip hop. It's not strict enough around here for me. And it's all levels. We're talking about Nelly performing at the inauguration. We're talking about Snoop performing at the crypto ball. We're talking about Ice Cube aligning himself with Trump and saying, well, yeah, let's support him, let's hear him out. It's Lil Wayne aligning himself. So we're talking about, the old guard is doing that.
Lisa Chase Wolf in the chat says, isn't the splintering of hip-hop culture a sign that we are currently transitioning to a more informed hip-hop consumer space? I do think that's true. I think that a lot of the more vocal of us, though, in hip-hop discourse spaces are a little behind, to be honest. And that's not speaking about this creator specifically. I just think in general the discourse is a little bit behind the reality of the splintering.
Interesting. Then you got the blog era niggas doing that shit, right? Nikki tweeting back and forth with that Republican senator, talking about Democrats conspired to expose her cousin's genital or whatever she was talking about. How she goes on these long, conservative adjacent conspiratorial rants like Trump does. We have the whole Drake, Aiden, XQC multiverse.
Yeesh.
You guys want to play?
See, fuck all of them, though. Like, that's the thing. Okay, so Drake obviously is, unfortunately, like, he represents a pillar of hip hop. Like, he represents, God, he's like the culmination of so many factors where you end in a Drake. And yes, where he sits right now, he's firmly surrounded by assholes, and he gets down with assholes. Like, his whole thing is like he's just completely embedded in that direction. And then people who are fans of him, like, that's what they want, and that's what he's going to give them. But I don't know how much that represents in terms of the full spectrum of hip hop consumers and hip hop artists. There's definitely some people on that side, but that side is going to be that side. Like, that side is the side that's completely embraced capitalism, like, in a point where there's just no going back. Like, that's what they want. That's what they're about. Like, that is their values. Planet, flag, that's what they're going to be about. Like, I wouldn't be wasting any energy on trying to pull Drake back. Like, Drake, fuck that dude. He's rich. Like, you know, he's probably gonna fucking end up. Well, I don't know if the man's really committed any crimes, but it seems like he's right on the edge of that. I've never seen a person give away or fumble their goodwill every day the way he does. And he's just going to end up wherever the fuck that whack ass wave takes him. And it gets to a point where it's kind of like, who cares? It's like him, his weird ass fans, and an army of internet robots. Like, that's just going to be that. That's going to be that planet. And it's going to be connected to academics and XQC and Aiden Ross and all these other fucking weirdos. But who cares what weirdos do? I don't know. That's...
You guys want to play Fuck, Marry, Kill?
No. Sure, go ahead. Give me one. Give me a good one.
Drake just aligning himself straight up with alt-right individuals, racists, bigots. I don't even know if y'all saw that clip of XQC listening to the JID album.
Look, live from the depths of hell with angel wings that have yet to flail.
I'm not listening to that. So, come.
Cash out, the buddy got the swerving in the lane and then crashed out. It happens.
I'm not listening to that.
The rain couldn't.
What about the children? When I check a news channel, I get a similar feeling, but still, we gonna make.
And there is something to be said about the influence that these people have. But I think that their influence is in the wake of a bigger sort of values-based issue within hip-hop that these people all fuck with just because it's easy, and there's a natural wave of things moving in that direction. But that's, to me, because of a door that's been open in hip-hop, in the values discussion of hip-hop that's been there for decades now, and people like this are able to walk right through it. And to me, it's just like it comes down to the misogyny. Like, the misogyny has been present for decades. The misogyny is the big wide open door through which all of these people can walk. It's the part where that's where the Drakes and these people, they all connect. Like, and then we get into these value-based discussions on hip hop, but we don't interrogate or investigate that part. Like, we don't like it sounds so funny to me sometimes when we prop hip hop up as this sort of like moral paragon, or a place where like the real values of it are all of these sort of ideal characterizations, when the misogyny has been there unquestioned largely for years. And when you have a gaping door, a hole in the wall that big, like, yeah, that's how Trump gets in, because he's the fucking king of the misogynists. Like, I bet Trump has a couple favorite rap songs. Why wouldn't he? Because the shit's perfectly in alignment with the shit he talks about and the shit he does. Like, we are righteously upset at a Trump for saying, you know, grab them by the privates, but that shit happens in like this. It's said in rap, like like these things are present in the music on that mainstream level. So of course there's a link with the alt-right. Like it's right there.
I'm good on that.
Literally listening to 3 seconds of each song saying it's trash, and we know this anti-black undertone he has, like, what is this gibberish? What is this going on? Hell, even the way he treated Drake on his own stream.
One hint I'll give you.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a Drake track.
It's a Drake diss.
No.
We know what it is.
No, it's not a diss. It's not a diss.
We got it.
It's not a diss, Drake.
We got it.
And it's on Scorpion.
What's that?
He's never heard that album.
Well, we're at the horrible start. Okay.
Wait, is that an album name?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's my name. It's my album.
Because album names, I'm not a name guy.
Okay, whatever. It's a song.
Okay.
And I think they did that stream because they both run ads for Stake. They're both shills for Stake. This online crypto gambling scheme that they are peddling in front of their young impressionable audiences, getting their audiences hooked on fucking gambling. That's their partnership. That's why you would even hear of a Drake and an XQC in the same fucking sentence.
Drake has a $180 million deal with Stake.com that he gets paid to just put their shit in his bio, stream once a month, and make a few bad picks on UFC and boxing and some dumb shit like soccer. Like, that's what he's getting paid to do. You get what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure if the incentive was to stream with, like, he'll stream with anybody. By the way, I heard he was supposed to do this stream with Aiden, but Aiden's beefing with Kick right now.
These are the people that we're aligning ourselves with. These are the people who we say are the GOATs, the gatekeepers. A cosign from them is everything. These are the things that they're doing. We got the old guard doing this fuck shit. We got the blog era niggas, this like millennial core doing that shit. And Academics is in that blog era shit too, because before he was a knuckle dragging, cave dwelling Neanderthal, getting hopped up on Red Bull and Hennessy in a dark room alone, he was actually on Complex. He was actually someone that the industry took seriously in terms of hip-hop commentary. You can see clips of him with a younger Joe Budden. This nigga, homophobic, abusive to women, buddied up with Trump, peddling misinformation, disinformation, bullshit to the youngest, most impressionable minds. Talking to minors about sexual things in 4K, and is a Trumper. What do we benefit as a community from aligning ourselves with a racist? Rob49 talking about, yeah, I fuck with Trump.
You mad at me because a nigga found out you was serving for the country, nigga?
I love my country.
So wait,
I fuck with Donald. Let me stop being political. I fuck with Trump though. I should. I was that nigga. I was that same nigga in that bitch.
And everybody in the room just get quiet because you know it's fucked up, but it's like, are we gonna say anything? No, it's fuck Trump, nigga. The fuck? Gutting our programs, gutting our social safety net, taking our tax dollars to go kill other people, pulling off the biggest financial heist in American history, the biggest wealth transfer from the poor to the rich. Nigga, pitting your pockets, and you glazing this nigga. Nigga, Elon talking about the great replacement theory, y'all talking about goddamn fucking Cybertrucks. Give me a fucking break. Have a fucking backbone. What morals, principles, and values do you fucking stand on?
That's the question.
And if they're not your own fucking morals, principles, and values, look to the root of the genre that you came from. This genre.
See, that's what I mean, though. They can't. A lot of these people aren't able to call out or oppose the values of people like that because those values are in alignment with them. Those values are in alignment with them. So they're not going to speak out, and that's why they're going in that direction.
We were telegraphing our experiences, our struggles with systemic racism, systemic poverty, hardships, real shit, the crack epidemic. This medium was used for more, and there used to be more of a balance. Niggas need to understand that the right-wing agenda does not benefit you. It's anti-you. They may let a couple of us in. They may have a couple of us on their podcasts, on their platforms, and use some of our social capital and clout and swag or whatever, aura, whatever you want to call it, but it's anti-you. I feel like hip-hop is red pill because a very sinister aspect of the red pill sphere or the manosphere is that it embeds itself in normal shit guys do. Like gym content, finance content, UFC shit, video games, streaming. And so you're consuming this shit without even realizing you're consuming this shit. Like on one hand, you have the very overt, like, all hail Trump, I support Trump, I fuck with Trump, we gotta hear the guy out. You got the outright bullshit that's very obvious to see. But then you have it embedding itself in these like, oh, I'm just watching Kai stream. I'm just watching Aiden stream. I'm just watching him play video games. Like Aiden, for example, he embedded himself with the rappers. He would interview the rappers, you know, hang out with them, smoke with them, chill with them, be invited into their space. He gets cool points. They get views from his stream. And I'm sure that equates to money somewhere down the line. I saw Aiden in real time make the pivot to the right-wing shit. Like, he did the rapper interview shit, and that was like what it was. And then he makes this Andrew Tate pivot, and he's shaving his head bald to look like Andrew Tate. And he is parroting some of the same things that Andrew Tate is peddling, who, mind you, is a sex trafficker. Andrew Tate is a conservative abuser that is also a sex trafficker.
I want to bring you some breaking news now. Prosecutors in Romania have filed formal charges against the controversial influencer Andrew Tate, his brother Tristan, and 2 Romanian associates. The charges include rape, human trafficking, and forming an organised crime group, as well as illegally accessing a computer system and violence against one of the alleged victims.
There were teachers in schools saying that there was literally more violence in their hallways and classrooms after their young boys were consuming Andrew Tate's content. Like, this has real world consequences. And people are still aligning themselves with Aiden. Aiden is a Trumper. He interviewed Trump. He was a part of this campaign to humanize Trump and make him look cool. Gifted him a wrapped Cybertruck, gifted him a watch. And I understand that people shrug off Trump because it's like, hey, we already had him as president. He signed his name on the STEMI check. So like, people who are not actually paying attention to politics or reading the fine print are like, okay, what's the difference, you know? Especially since the Democrats literally backed a genocide. like the genocide was bipartisan. And that lost a lot of public faith. Like, I feel like the Democrats lost a lot to like people sitting on the couch, just not going out and voting for them.
Pissing away the goodwill.
That's a whole other rabbit hole. But this man who wants ultimate control and adoration, he doesn't respect the balance of power, checks and balances. Like, he wants to be a dictator. You know what I mean? Censoring our speech.
And there's something that she's circling around too that I feel like is key in all of this as well. And it dovetails with the patriarchy bit and the manosphere bit. Inside of patriarchy, there's this natural gravitation towards power. And so everybody who's already signed up in that manosphere, like on that side of the philosophical aisle, they're always going to gravitate towards anybody who represents power, especially in the naked, sort of depraved way that Trump grabs for power and attempts to throw it around. Like, they're always going to want to be next to that. They're always going to want to be next to that. And so the behavior of some of these people, these streamers, these rappers, all of that, is part of that is informed by they want to be standing next to the powerful person, because within patriarchy, like, there's a noise outside of my house, but that is it's them coming to get me. But that's sort of baked into all of this.
His policies are so destructive to the Black community and to our world at large. The violence that he is enacting on people, turning the military on people. Y'all, this is nothing to play with, and you're gonna align yourself with someone who's interviewed and humanized this man. And I'm speaking about Aiden because of his association in this whole streamer bubble with the DDGs, with the Kais, with the Neons, and everybody in between. And they're calling Kai the mouthpiece of a generation for hip hop. He's on the cover of all these magazines, right? All the rappers, even twice his age, rolling through his stream because his social capital, the money he generates, the eyes, the attention he garners is valuable. And so it's important what he's saying into the camera. it's important who he associates with. If he's associating with conservatives, you'll probably see a lot more conservative shit flying off the rails unchecked on stream. I don't know if y'all saw recently, he's having to distance himself from Aiden because niggas be spamming gorillas in the chat.
I said, respectfully, in real life, I got you, bro. But when it comes to this content shit, I'm not in the mental state to be in front of your niggas. As soon as a nigga of color hop onto the stream, it's straight watermelon and gorillas, nigga. I'll watch.
I just wish he didn't say that though. I really wish he didn't say that as soon as there's somebody with color on your stream. We don't have to make this about race at all. Like, there's no reason to do that at all. I get what he's saying. Like, when there's somebody with color on their stream, they spam monkey and watermelons and stuff. When there's a Jew on stream, they'll spam the craziest shit in my
and they think this is all fine.
My chat. When there's a Mexican on stream, they'll spam shit on my chat. When there's a Chinese person on stream, they'll spam my shit on
Yeah, and so let's not talk about it because it happens to everybody, so it must be okay.
my chat. It's not just one specific race, guys. It's every fucking race.
Same thing with this neon clown. He got pressed on the Breakfast Club because he has a very, very long and recent history of being racist, saying he doesn't like black people, saying black people steal, comparing Speed or Kai, whoever it was, to a monkey. Literally saw a monkey in real life and was like, oh, hi Kai, or hi Speed, whatever he said. If I can find the video, I'll patch it in here.
Hate you black people. Fuck you, Kai. Fuck, what do you mean I don't go outside, bitch? The fuck? I will fuck your mom, bitch. I will fuck the shit out of that fat hairy Tubman, bitch. Fuck you. Suck my dick.
It has a toy.
Hey, monkey.
It has a toy.
Excuse me, Kai. Hello.
People spamming gorillas in the chat as he's at the Breakfast Club, like in the presence of black people, because he's allowed that sort of racism and anti-blackness and white supremacy to be bred in that space. And this is all in the sphere of like video game content, hip hop commentary, maybe a little fitness, finance, gambling, sports betting.
Anywho, it's time for my favorite part of the show, Prize Picks.
Wow, I didn't even know they was
Like,
doing that.
this whole industry is not only fucking the youth, but it's fucking us as a culture. You got Black Boy Max on there talking about, well, yeah, my dad didn't name me Daquan because he thought I was gonna be a lawyer, so he named me Maxwell.
Maxwell Elliott Dent.
My shit, that ass.
How did people gain any semblance of popularity? Oh boy, lucky. You don't know what it's like out there.
Because my parents wanted me to be a lawyer. That ass. What the fuck they had to do with anything?
We live in an online world where, you know, that provocative shit gets circulated all around. Like that's what's hip, right? I mean, I won't say it's what's hip, but I will say it works. And you know, we got a whole different thing going over here with the morning show because, you know, we sort of attract and try to foster a different type of environment. But at large, the environment sort of dips towards the values that are dominating our culture. And it's the same shit you see on every social media. And here on Twitch and on Kick and Rumble and those other platforms that lean even further in that direction. Like a lot of time, that's what people come to it for, unfortunately.
So they was giving me a professional ass name, nigga, instead of Daquan. Like, you feel me? They gave me Maxwell Dent. Them niggas
White or black?
Nigga, I'm black, nigga.
You keep saying nigga, cause then every time you say something, you just sound so white. You like,
Hold on. Slow down.
Yeah, Daquan. What's wrong with Daquan?
Hold on, ain't nothing. Hold on. Ain't nothing wrong with a black nigga talking proper, bro. There's
Damn,
nothing
what's
wrong
wrong
with
with Daquan?
There's nothing wrong with Daquan. I'm just saying they want me to be a lawyer.
Daquan,
All right, look. Let me know.
And part of the issue with this shit too, and God, we're going down so many tangents. Like my son shows me a lot of this stuff, so like I'm more aware of a lot of these people. And Max, the guy who's talking right now, is so interesting in particular because this dude's gotten like incredibly popular very quickly, and has gotten in some situations where like there's a whole weird pressure on his life and his social relationships, and it all sort of happens in real time. And like they're in these positions where they have to have these discussions on topics that are like really complicated. And these dudes aren't like learned traditionally, like, and that's not just in the knowledge that they have, but it's also in their communication styles. Like these are like literally teenagers off the street in these suddenly like high stakes conversations with the most complicated, sensitive matters involved, and they do a lot of stumbling and fumbling. It's kind of wild to see.
Daquan, you out there? You could be a lawyer, Daquan.
That's right, G. Roy. Like they don't have the actual communication skills to even express some of the good ideas they might have, let alone to articulate some of the negative ones.
I'm telling you.
Hey, shout out Daquan. Do you know a lawyer named Daquan? Let me know.
What?
Do you know a lawyer named Daquan?
Bro, do you know if you...
Like, I don't, like, they're having he's having a conversation about why he was named Max instead of Daquan. And I don't know if that's, I don't know how Daquan specifically came into it as a name choice, but like, I don't think Max is aware of how far back that conversation goes about, quote unquote, black names being discriminated against in the workforce. Like, that's a long, complicated conversation that he finds himself suddenly having with international rap megastar Lil Baby on a random Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy.
If you smart enough to be a lawyer, no matter what your name is.
Look up lawyer's name.
You're a lawyer.
See how many pop up.
You one of them guys.
That is anti-black. Peddling anti-blackness, peddling financial scams and schemes to working class and working poor people, predominantly black people. Y'all, this is self-destructive. And I know YB got pardoned by Trump, and so maybe it was a part of his little pardon deal that he has to like big up Trump or whatever. That's some sellout shit. But you gotta go as far as to spray "All Hail Trump" in the background of your music video.
Make America slimy again. Whatever Trump doing, bitch is good for the young.
Jesus
He
Christ.
is literally stripping opportunity from the hands in pushing this AI shit unregulated, which is taking jobs, in taking grants and scholarships away, and student loan money away from students that are poor that are just trying to get a better education and get out of their situation, gutting trade schools so you can't even like go to these established programs to get trades. How is that good for the fucking youngins? How is that good for black people? Y'all not taking this shit seriously enough for me, I swear to God. And that brings me to the icing on the fucking cake, because you know what? I had a whole outline of shit, but I'm just like, y'all, I care about this genre
America's
so much.
favorite
I care about
Catboy,
black
what
people
up?
so much. I care about our men. I care about our women. I care about our trans siblings, our non-binary siblings. I care about black people. So yes, I'm passionate. Yes, my tongue is sharp, but it's like, yo, this is dumb as fuck. The time is now. We have no time. Like, with the planet dying, with this dictatorship, with them rounding niggas up, not giving them due process. When you're not giving them due process, niggas not even getting processed through the system without being guilty, without being deemed guilty and held in captivity. Held in captivity. They're literally rounding these people up on the street, and I've seen niggas being like, this is not our fight, niggas sit out. When they're rounding up these people, they're going up to the Home Depots and the job sites and all this shit. They were in my neighborhood and shit, in my area and shit, masked, unmarked shit, scooping people up. People don't even know where the fuck they are. And there's in these fucking facilities, people like, that's not our fight. I don't give a fuck if they don't get due process. They're here illegally. When they were able to greenlight that shit and not give them due process, that just rolled out the red carpet for us to get snatched up without due process. To be like, oh, well, you're black, you had a gun, you were smoking outside, and actually, I didn't just like the way you was looking at me, and so now you're in custody. Now you're in the fucking system. Giving them niggas free labor, bro. Y'all, we have lost the fucking plot. You're aligning yourself with people in the alt-right pipeline that are into crypto gambling and anti-black Republican, like KKK shit, y'all. When I'm talking about Elon and the Great Replacement Theory and shit, I'm talking about him saying it's not enough white people. And we need to figure out a way so that we won't be replaced. Just Nazi shit. Doing salutes and shit, y'all. We cannot.
I mean, it is all over the place, but I think it's coming from a place of genuine disappointment and frustration. So I feel it. Like, even though because this isn't necessarily an argument. This is more like a general call to action. Like, get it together. And again, like, I feel where she's coming from, because this reminds me of how I felt in like 2002. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is, the house was on fire then, as far as a lot of people embedded in like the undercultures of hip hop were then, and the alarms that we were sounding, So I feel her, like, and that's what I said at the beginning of this. The spirit of this, I'm completely in alignment with. But I think, the actual emotion does make you sort of go all over the place because you start calling shit out, and it's hard to stop calling shit out because there's so much bullshit happening right now.
Align ourselves with this shit. We have to distance ourselves from this shit. And there are people in the game that are doing that, and I applaud you for that. But we have to watch the party die. Referencing Kendrick Lamar's song, Watch the Party Die. Because he's literally like, well, tell us what casket we need to choose. Tell us what casket we need to choose for our babies as you feed them this bullshit, this self-destructive bullshit. Go back and listen to that song. Because people really were like, oh, well, if he means by Watch the Party Die, like there's not gonna be any turnt music, then that's never gonna work, Kendrick. That's not what that was about. It was about looking down the street and around the corner and seeing this dark fucking path. These gatekeepers and new rulers of the hip hop scene are taking us down. The dark path that they are leading us down of gambling, of killing each other, of anti-blackness, of being a Republican, right-wing, conservative. And they'll let you stay for as long as you are useful to them, and then they will kick you to the fucking curb. Herman Cain died of COVID supporting Trump. There's a message in there somewhere. Somebody find it. But what really jolted me out of my bed this morning to make this fucking video is seeing Lil Yachty on Black Boy Max's stream
crazy.
spitting out
This
of
shit
his
was real crazy.
fucking mouth a George Floyd bar.
Oh my God, this shit is embarrassing. That shit is so fucked.
5 years later, a man that was executed by the pigs, Derek Chauvin, executed in broad daylight in the most inhumane, I'm like shaking right now.
Yeah,
in the
Catboy,
most
that's just fucked up.
inhumane way. That statement said,
But look. And it's, I'm telling you, like, the link couldn't be made more clear than that. Because he used that as a metaphor, as a punchline in a misogynistic bar. Like, that's the tunnel. That's the link. That's the correlation. That is the pathway. That is the dark seed that's grown into a fucking nasty tree that's been in hip hop for years, is the misogyny. And it opens the door to the fucking red pill manosphere bullshit. And it's where, honestly, it's where it's gonna thrive. Cause it's all about that shit. So it's like, I don't know. Like, I think that's the first domino. Like, that's the first thing that needs to be addressed before because if you find a way to strangle that plant, then I think the connection between quote unquote hip hop culture, hip hop values, and this manosphere shit is cut off. But right now that pathway is very fucking healthy because it's gone mostly unopposed for decades.
you are nothing. I could kneel on your neck and kill you in broad day, showing my full fucking face in front of a bunch of fucking cameras, and it doesn't fucking matter. And people are gonna cheer it on. People are gonna say, oh, he actually overdosed. People are gonna trivialize it, and 5 years later, people are gonna put it in a fucking bar. Are you okay? This is where this shit leads, you guys. This is a personification from all hail Trump. What he's doing is good for the youngins to George Floyd bars. And not the bar of like, I'm gonna Derek Chauvin because of what he did to the type that's like, I'ma do her like Derek Chauvin did George Floyd. Are you okay? And this the same nigga aligning himself with Drake, who aligns himself with these alt-right niggas. He also was on Andrew Schultz's podcast. These were people that voted for Trump, supported Trump, humanized Trump, and are now like, whoa, 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 he's going too far. You know, the tariffs and, oh, the Epstein cover-up. He's actually like sending us trillions of dollars into debt as a country. And
DM me and be like, you see what your boy's doing? You voted for this. I'm like, I voted for none of this. He's doing the exact opposite of everything I voted for.
Yeah.
I want him to stop the wars. He's funding them. I want him to shrink spending.
Reduce
the money. He's increasing it. It's like everything that he said he's going to do.
Right, because he's
sending immigrants
because he's
back.
always known for being so honest.
And now he's even flip-flopped on that, which I kind of like. But he's like, oh, well, we kind of need the people working in restaurants, and we need our farmers. It's like everything that he said that he was going to do that he
fooled
can't
by
believe.
Trump
He said to
as
us,
which was
a
important, and I thought it was really
self-styled
impressive on
smart
it.
person.
Well, you got to start with the criminals in terms of deporting. I don't even know if the criminals are getting sent back. I know there's a lot of people with green cards getting sent back. There's people who aren't criminals getting sent back. I don't know if you're sending back the criminals first. You're definitely not doing it first. I don't know if you're sending them back at all. So nothing has happened.
And you were more optimistic than I was because I judge him by his first four, and it was Mr. Drain the Swamp, Mr. Build the Wall, he didn't do a lot of the stuff he promised in the first four. So why would anything?
I already expect politicians to not do most of the shit they say.
Mm-hmm.
that's the podcast you were on. Glazing Trump talking about, he's the guy. I mean, he's the guy. He's still gonna fuck more bitches than us.
It's the power
oh
thing.
My God.
That's the power thing.
He didn't give a fuck.
Really?
No. He was genuinely unfazed. I respected it a lot, and I talked to him. That shit didn't bother him. As it shouldn't. He's a fucking guy. But if I had $700 million, I would fucking.
It gotta bother you a little bit.
Disgusting. And it looks like you're just sitting on the couch with Andrew Schultz with Happy Dad in the background, who their association with the Nelk Boys, these are the niggas that literally not only humanized Trump, but humanized Bibi Netanyahu, the genocide heir, and then acted like, well, we didn't know what questions to ask. This shit runs deep as fuck, y'all. It's not just sitting on the couch with Andrew Schultz and his cocksuckers with Happy Dad in the back talking about Drake's the guy, he gets more pussy than me. It's aligning yourself with people who align themselves with the alt-right, that align themselves with the current authoritarian movement, who helped bring that about, that is objectively going to make our people's lives worse. This shit is not cool. It's not that deep. It's not that deeping ourselves into a fucking noose. Y'all gotta stand for something. I'm not saying you have to be bumping Yasin Bey and No Name all day and that you gotta just, I'm not trying to be puritanical with this shit, but a line has to be drawn, y'all. Hip hop is red pilled. And it may never not be, not to use so many fucking double negatives, but that's just the state of the union right now. But that doesn't mean we can't fucking speak up about it. The fuck? People were saying that Kendrick going on this tirade and kind of drawing the line between hip-hop purists and people who want to, preserve what little we have left of this sport, of the genre that is so uniquely black and popular and poignant and important. And the other side with bullshit, gambling, dirty Mac and fucking bitches over, fucking your nigga over, Republican shit, alt-right shit. He was drawing the line. It's like, oh, well, the kids are already gone, so there's no reason to do that.
Yeah, but then he got on the joint with Playboy Cardi, though. That's what is the line? What is the line? I think that's still remains to be seen. The jury's still out on what the fuck is the line, because that shit was confusing.
Watch the party die. Who gives a fuck? No, who gives a? We have to give a fuck, y'all. I don't think that's insignificant. Kendrick cleansed that palate. Cleanse the palate enough for Drake to drop a new song and for it to enter and exit the top 10, top 15, top 20 within a matter of days. This nigga dropped some sexy songs for you this year. He dropped Nokia this year. He dropped What Did I Miss and whatever the Central C song was. It's not hitting no more. Had this been a couple summers ago, that it would have been a very different situation, especially Nokia. He wouldn't have to spam us with this fucking Iceman episodes with Pinocchio and shit. A shift happened. It did. It's okay to admit that it did. And it brings me to a promising future,
Shift could
possibly,
happen.
where niggas like this that do fuck shit that align with Trump and all this shit get clowned on, get kicked out of hip hop, get told to shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down because you leading this movement is leading us into the pits of hell. You got Lotto saying, fuck Donald Trump, I didn't vote for this prezi in that last song that she did with Nudie.
I might go be late. Yeah,
got Doechii
See, now I
on
wanna
stage
hear that.
talking about free Palestine.
Free Palestine. What was you talking about?
Fuck yeah, Doechii.
Y'all can't be scared to stand up for what you believe in. You can't be scared to say what matters. Free
I didn't even know she did that. Fuck yeah.
You got Mike on NPR Tiny Desk and actually at all his concerts being like, free Gaza, free Palestine, free Sudan.
Free Palestine, free Congo, free Haiti, free Sudan, free Tigray, free all of my people.
There you go, Mike.
Earl Sweatshirt, free Gaza. We on the corner like Israelites, right?
Free Gaza, we on the corner like Israelites. Saying, look at the wristwatch thing of the time. Miss ran missiles out of the sky.
No Name and her book club work and her work with incarcerated individuals and her work drawing those connections, keeping that tradition alive. There's hope. There's hope. But we can't stop at that. We have to call out this other bullshit. It is that deep, and it's dope to be woke. Just because conservatives hijack that shit to be an insult, to be a pejorative, doesn't mean you have to go shuck and jive and coon for them fucking niggas. You're turning over, you're acquiescing, you're surrendering, and saying, well, if you can't beat them, join them. You got Baby Chief Do It using ChatGPT to write bars.
I just downloaded that 2 days ago. I didn't know that shit worked so well. I've been using that shit to write my lyrics. Real shit.
Word, ChatGPT?
Hell yeah, that shit work.
How do you use it to write your lyrics? Like you type in what you wanted to say?
Well, what I did was I wrote down 4 bars and I said, write me a song. And then it said, give me a start me off, some shit like that. And bro, I started him off.
I don't think he's trolling at all, Catboy. I think he really means it.
It wrote some shit. Now, I ain't use it, exactly how it was written. But it was some shit that I could pull out of.
So how does it work? Do you give it writing credits then?
I wouldn't think so.
You got Gunna talking about, well, if you can't beat it, join it. You got Timbaland pushing this AI shit, signing an AI artist. And if you don't think that this AI shit is not wrapped up in all this other bullshit, you need to take a closer look. Because Elon with this Grok shit, Sam Altman with this OpenAI shit, Peter Thiel with this Palantir shit, they all funded and supported Trump. That's all collectively making our lives worse and more surveilled, making us poorer and dumber and sicker. The AI heads literally funded Trump. So all this shit is connected, y'all. And you better get right and you better look alive because shit is getting spooky in this bitch. We don't have time for you to be talking about some goddamn fucking all hail Trump like it's Hail Hitler or something. The fuck? Looking at you, Kanye. He's so damn deep. We already know what's up with that. But whether it's an extreme version like Kanye or it's this kind of like new school version like Kai, Neon, Youngboy, Academic, whoever it's coming from, cut it the fuck out. Because it's killing us slow and it's killing us now. That's all I have to say for now. I may make a part 2 of this that's just more fleshed out and more organized, but I just have to get that shit off my chest. I'm so hot over this. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video, y'all. Bye.
So, yo, I applaud it. It ain't easy to take them stances, even though a lot of us agree. It gets tiring, too, to be honest. Like I said, a lot of this stuff is some of the same stuff I feel like Hez in the mid-90s was trying to point out and being afraid where all of this shit was going to go. Had little power to actually stop it, both because of the corporations and because of people choosing it. But I think part of people choosing it is the capitalist soup that we live in. Like, it is difficult to maintain communities that oppose the values of the overall structure that we live in. It's hard to do that. It's not impossible, but it's hard. That's the original commodification of movements, is people's values becoming more and more alignment with the overall values of the society they live in. Because that's what a lot of people deep down think you got to do to get along. I mean, it's been happening in black culture for, hundreds of years now. What looked like success for the descendants of slaves was moving around like white people move. The white people they saw every day, not having a distinct culture separate from that. Like, there's a lot of people to this day who believe that like integration was like the worst thing that happened because it allowed the full weight, the full potency of the capitalistic ideas that underpin all of this country to completely permeate the black community. Allowed us to join in a way that, like she's saying, ultimately hurt us. But I think there are corners of this hip hop map. There are corners of American society where dudes are just too far gone. It's too far gone. And you know what I'm saying? I think us as a community got to kind of cut bait with them folks and then focus on the youth and focus on the people who already align with our values more. You know, you're not going to change a Drake. You're probably not going to change the young boy, even though he's younger, but he's fucking rich off of the values that he's had. He's been rich and in and out of jail based off the values that he's had. But yeah, applause for doing this. You know, some of these conversations feel important to me. Ultimately, I hope to help increase the impact of all of them. And, you know, somebody, Kid Halation, just asked in the chat, what do we do? I don't know what we do. You know, I think one thing that I like to do is just focus on the shit that I enjoy. Focus on the shit that I think is worth promoting and perpetuating, because there's a lot of it out there. You know, like a lot of the stuff that's in the video, that like the clips she put in, I'm very aware of a lot of that stuff, but I don't give it a lot of oxygen. Now, I'm not sitting here saying confidently like that is the way, because maybe it does need to be discussed more. I know that my approach is to try to shine light on shit that I think is good, shit that I think is in alignment with me, shit that I don't have any reluctance to share with the people here. But that's just my approach, and I don't know. Like I did explain earlier, like the future that I want to see, but I can't say for sure that I'm confident on how we get there. And I'm also very aware that my approach is informed by what has become a real cynicism over the past few years, about how powerful the forces are that we're in opposition to, and not wanting to have this false sense of gatekeeping, culture steering power. Like what we've done here, right, is build a community, and that in itself is a powerful thing. We haven't actualized this community to do anything overtly political, and whether we will or won't, I'm not certain. But to me, like, that's the important first step, is convening people who are in alignment. Not and we don't all agree 100%. But it's so important that we don't feel alone in caring about what the fuck happens to human beings, and like all human beings, right? Like, regardless of obvious shit like sexual orientation and race and class, and like, and increasing that class consciousness seems to be incredibly important. That and that is part of what compels me to have to participate in some of this discourse too, is because a lot of this shit and the embracing of the capitalism and who ends up flying those flags for the shit that I don't align with, a lot of that is people in the rich people class, and they want to perpetuate that shit. They don't want to dismantle any of it. They are fully in alignment with it. So I think being able to point out and remind people of like where we are as like the working class and the power of our labor, like that's the power. Like, we talk about this imaginary gatekeeping power in hip hop. Real power is in understanding the value of our labor. You know what I'm saying? So like a real conversation in hip hop is about like, all right, what can hip hop performers do to like unionize, like do to come together and plant a flag in the value of our labor. Like that's power. Like when the WGA strike was going on a couple years ago, that was such a big takeaway for me. It's like they had structure in place based on the value of their labor to shut a fucking industry down and make sure that they had protections. And is it perfect? No. But like, that's what's missing. And it's the consciousness of the awareness to be able to do that and to understand how it benefits us. That like, those are the conversations we need to have. Like, that's where, to me, I guess that's the pathway towards more real actualized power in a capitalist system. But shout out to BK. Look at the material with BK. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat one more time for that video. And I'm gonna do a real quick palate cleanser. Like and subscribe, homie, friend. It's free. Stop playing.